Well, with that resplendent welcome by Kandyan dancers and drummers, we'd like to invite our dignitaries to please join us at the traditional lighting of the oil lamp. We're delighted to be joined today by our keynote speaker, Mr. Rolf Blaser, Group Managing Director, CEO at A. Bauer and Company Private Limited. We'd also like to be joined by the President of CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, Chairman, National HR Conference 2023 and Honorary Secretary of CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Priyankara Senaviratne, Chairman of the Technical Committee at the National HR Conference 2023, Mr. C. Heva Pattini. We have the Vice President, CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Priyantha Ranasinghe, Honorary Treasurer, CIPM Sri Lanka, Colonel Saman Jayavikrama, Chief Executive Officer of CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. UAC Obeyasekara, Chairman of the National HR Exhibition 2023, Mr. Kasun Nahallage, Chairman of the Great HR Debate, Air Commodore Manoj Kepetipola. We have Director Operations CIPM Sri Lanka and Chief Coordinator of the National HR Conference 2023, Ms. Himali Dasanayaka. We'd like to also invite, representing our strategic partners, Mr. Nemanta Abesinghe, General Manager, Nippon Paint Lanka, Mr. Nusrat Nazar, Head of Corporate Solutions and Business Development, PICME, and Mr. Sampath Jayasundara, Director, CEO at Senate Business Solutions, all of whom represent our strategic partners. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we now invite the following dignitaries to join us at the head table on stage. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Rolf Blaser, we invite you to join us on stage, sir. Accompanied by the President of CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, Chairman of the National HR Conference 2023 and Honorary Secretary of CIPM, Mr. Priyankara Senaviratne, Vice President CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Priyantha Ranasinghe, Honorary Treasurer CIPM Sri Lanka, Colonel Saman Jayavikrama, Chief Executive Officer of CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. UAC Obesekara, and the Chairman of the National HR Exhibition 2023, Mr. Kasun Nahallage. We invite our dignitaries on stage to please take their rightful seats. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to request all of you to please remain standing just a short while longer as we now move into the national anthem, followed by the CIPM theme song.
Sri Lanka Mata, Abba Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata. Sundara Siddharini, Surani Ati Sobhamana Lanka. Ranya Ganaya Nekamal Valaturu Devi Jaya Bhumiya Ranya. Apahata Sapasiri Sata Sadhana, Jeevanaye Mata. Vilikanu Mena Apabhakti Puja, Namo Namo Mata. Appa Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata. Obame Appa Vidya, Obamaya Appa Satya, Obame Appa Shanti, Appa Hada Tula Bhakti, Appa Aloke, Appa Ge Anuprane, Obba Appa Jeevanane, Appa Muktiya Obave, Nava Jeevana Devine, Vipina Appa Kubudu Karan Mata. Jnana Veera Vadavamina Ragena Yanu Mena Jaya Bhumikara. Ekavavakage Tanu Kala Vedina, Yamu Yamu Vinopama. Prema Vada Samaveda Durarara, Namo Namo Mata. Appa Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata. මානව සම්පත අගතැන්පත් කර සකල දේශයම ජය නදනම්වන අභිමානයකින් ඉදිරියටම යන CIPM සැමදා මුරැඳෙන නවමු ආරකින් විවිධි සුපිපෙන සුහදව නිති මිනිසත්කම් අගයන ව්‍යවසායකයින් රැජමෙන සිරිබිම් දියුණෙන් දියුණට පෙරමුණගෙන අද සාඩම්බරයෙන් සිහිපත් කර අපි අමරමු පැතියෙන් දිරිදෙන හැමනිති අනදි සේවයෙන් ලොවදිනනාපි අදත් හෙටත් සැමදා වැජබෙමු අපි CIPM shall excel, flying a flag of splendor through our realm. Nadum sirende, nadum selika, onrai sirende, urepo namam. Manav sampata agatempat kar, sakala deshayam jayanadhanam. අභිමානයකින් ඉදිරියටම යන CIPM සැමදා මොරැබෙන අභිමානයකින් ඉදිරියටම යන CIPM සැමදා මොරැබෙන
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may please take your seats now. And on that note, setting the tone for a remarkable inauguration ceremony right here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for us to commence our proceedings with an exquisite and graceful welcome dance. So let's now invite on stage the lovely performers of the Sanchana Sashi Dance Foundation. Let's take a look. Wow, and on that very captivating and mesmerizing note, with that graceful opening act, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you once again, and a very warm welcome to our inauguration ceremony of the National HR Conference organized by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's conference is themed on navigating dire straits. And as you know, the HR Conference is our annual flagship event. So before we kickstart our proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what lies in store at this year's edition of our conference. Well, there we had it, ladies and gentlemen, a brief glimpse for you on what to expect at this year's edition of our conference. And as you're already aware, our theme this year is navigating dire straits. And as you just viewed from that brief video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you are all in store for a power-packed agenda filled with excitement, with enrichment and education. Now, talking about our theme this year, ladies and gentlemen, as we are very well aware, in today's rapidly changing business landscape and a very volatile economic climate, our organizations are all confronted with unprecedented challenges as well as uncertainties. And it is in these critical moments that all of us as human resource professionals must rise to the occasion, navigating through these complex situations and providing effective people solutions. It is, as HR people, our responsibility to lead and guide our organizations towards success by harnessing the power of our people. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this year at the National HR Conference, we aim to bring together a diverse assembly of individuals who will all share with us their valuable insights and expertise on the very pressing issues at hand. And by doing so, we do hope to provide significant value to each of our participants on how they can navigate the socio-economic problems that require our urgent attention. And we do hope that over the next 2 days that we share together, we can learn ways in which we can then work towards charting a path to a brighter future for our country, for our organizations, and of course, for our people. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, a warm welcome to all of you to our inauguration ceremony. And I do hope that all of you are prepared to immerse yourselves in the enlightening sessions, the engaging discussions, as well as the thought-provoking exchanges to unfold over today and tomorrow. Now, before we get started with the agenda for today, let's remember that at this year's HR Conference, coming on board to support our event, we have our valued sponsors. And it's time to thank them for their generous contribution towards helping us put up this high-quality event. So our partners and our sponsors include the following. We have our strategic partners, including Nippon Paint Lanka Private Limited. We have PickMe Digital Mobility Solutions Lanka. We have Senate Business Solutions. We have our official partners, Monarch Imperial, our official hospitality partner, Emerging Media Express Jobs. We have Vijaya Newspapers, media and digital partner, and TV One. And our co-sponsors include Malibin Business Manufactories, SLT Mobitel, iContext Private Limited, and our other co-sponsors also include Hatton National Bank PLC, Dole Lanka Private Limited, Commercial Bank of Ceylon PLC, Colombo Stock Exchange, Hemas Hospitals, Colombo International Container Terminals Limited, Coca-Cola Beverages Sri Lanka, Apico Supermarkets, and Veerasinghe Manpower. Wow, that's an exhaustive list of fantastic partners and sponsors. So can we please hear a huge round of applause and we thank all of them for their generous contribution. Fantastic. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're delighted to now officially commence our proceedings with the welcome address. And to do the honors of the same, allow me to now introduce to you an extraordinary individual at the helm of this organization. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Vijayakumar currently holds the esteemed position of President at CIPM Sri Lanka. He's also General Manager, Human Resources Administration, Purchasing and Sustainability at A. Bauer and Company Private Limited. With an impressive career spanning over 30 years in the fields of human resource management and general management, Ken is regarded as a people leader and has consistently demonstrated an exemplary attitude in addressing and resolving various issues faced by individuals both in the public and private sectors. This reputation is supported by the numerous awards and accolades he has received throughout his extensive career as a human resources professional. Notably, Ken was honored with the Aviva Leadership Excellence Award as well as the Aviva Change Manager Award in 2007 and 2008 respectively. His professional journey commenced in 1985 when he started as a management trainee at Janata Estates Development Board, and since then he has held managerial and senior managerial positions in renowned organizations such as Lankem Ceylon Limited, Watawala Plantations, MAS Holdings, Keels Plantations, Lanka Equities, Brandix, WNS Aviva, Delmage Fawcett, and Premium Oils and Fats Malaysia. This diverse range of experience has given him the exposure to various industries, including plantations, apparel manufacturing, business process outsourcing, diversified industries, palm oil refineries, as well as the hospitality industries. Furthermore, Ken's expertise and contributions have been recognized by his appointment as a chartered fellow member and a senior faculty member of CIPM. Most recently, Ken also received the Outstanding HR Business Leader of the Year Award for 2022 from CEO Magazine, and this recognition certainly underscores his exceptional leadership skills and significant contribution to the HR fraternity. So with this glowing introduction, ladies and gentlemen, to our President of CIPM Sri Lanka, it's my pleasure now to invite him to the lectern for the official welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Ken Vijayakumar.
Mr. Ross Blaser, our keynote speaker today, Mr. Priyankara Senivaratna, Conference Chair, members of Head Table, foreign delegates, my dear council members, past presidents, fellow members, and my dear HR professionals, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the National HR Conference 2023, themed Navigating the Dire Straits. As you may be aware, we are having this conference after the lapse of 3 years. So it is actually, we were wondering whether to do a conference this year or not, but we want to navigate the dire straits. That's how we decided to have the conference, because there was, cross feelings whether we should do or not. However, we decided to go for the conference despite the challenges faced, because as you know, we as HR professionals done tremendous contribution during the COVID-19. As you all know, the company directors, the management, CEOs realized how the HR professional can contribute towards the success of any organizations. Although HR was a support function many years, now the world has realized HR is one of the main functions. That's the heart of any organization. However, this was actually brought out to the world during the COVID period, how HR managed the people's welfare and the people's priority and the securities. So this year, we themed our conference as navigating the dire straits, because we are facing the economic challenges in the country. So we thought it's appropriate that we bring this topic, how HR professional can contribute towards turning around this feeling of, fear, the feeling of dissatisfaction. So I'm very happy to see today there are more than 800 participants, which shows, the HR professional came to support this conference as well by participating. Also, our pillar of success is our sponsors, because during the times of troubles, it's very difficult to find sponsors. But however, we are lucky enough, they believed in us in sponsoring this mega conference. So I'm very happy to say that and thank all our sponsors, because without you, we wouldn't have done this mega conference. Thank you so much, all our sponsors. Further, I would like to welcome the delegates from Singapore, from Malaysia, also from Bangladesh, Maldives, and we'd love to have you here, and hope to see you all soon for the AFRAM board meeting on the 23rd morning, having a CIPM premises. So we will sort of have the plans for the future for the AFRAM as well. Also, I would like to thank our conference chair, Mr. Priyankara Senivaratne, and his team. They put up a great show, because organizing a mega conference of this nature is not very easy. It went through several months of planning, and which is quite tough to do this. Also, all our speakers, our panelists, they came forward to support us, and thank you so much. Talking about our keynote speaker, Mr. Rolf Blaser, thank you very much, sir, for your presence. I've invited him not because of I work for him at Bowers or he's my boss, because the knowledge he carries with him. He has several years of management experience, worked in many countries. So I thought it's appropriate that he shares his experience with us. Also, as you may be aware, that he was awarded by the CEO magazine as the most admired CEOs in Sri Lanka. So, Mr. Blaser, thank you so much for your participation. Further, I would like to thank all the judges of Great HR Debate and the judges for the the Lifetime HR Gold Medal Award. Thank you so much for your support and your sincere contribution. And also the speakers and the panelists, thank you so much for your support as well. I would like to also thank, actually we appointed 3 committees to navigate this conference. One is the main committee chaired by our able chairman, Mr. Priyankara Senivaratne. The other one is chaired by so-called or known as the great HR guru of Sri Lanka, Ms. Eva Patini, the veteran in HR. So thank you so much, being a technical committee chairman, for your contribution. And also the exhibition stall committee, Mr. Kasun Nalage and Ms. Primrose Mascarenas, thank you for your support and all your contribution towards this conference. Also, I would like to thank the venue, the hotels, and all our sponsors, the stall holders, the exhibitors, and thank you for supporting us during these, difficult times, because if not for you all, this wouldn't have been a successful conference. So, on behalf of the Council of CIPM, I would like to invite you all for the cocktails after the official ceremony is over. Sit back and relax. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our president of CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Ken Wijayakumar, for welcoming our audience, giving you a glimpse of what lies in store at our conference, and also for thanking all of our contributors who've helped play a part in the success of this event. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be viewing a corporate profile video of CIPM. But before we view that clip, I have some very happy news to share with all of you. Now, it takes immense pleasure on behalf of CIPM for me to announce that CIPM won 3 awards at the National Business Excellence Awards ceremony, which was held on the 20th of June at the Shangri-La Hotel. This is an annual event organized by the National Chamber of Commerce, and the 3 awards that were won by CIPM were as follows. CIPM was the overall winner in the education services sector. It was also the runner-up in capacity building, and it was the first joint runner-up in the medium enterprises sector as well. I'm sure you all agree, ladies and gentlemen, that these accolades speak volumes about CIPM's contribution towards building people leaders here in the country. So can we hear a huge round of applause as we celebrate these accomplishments? Yes, indeed. So on that note, I'd like to invite all of you to take a look at the screen as we now present before you the CIPM corporate video.
The story of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management spans over 60 years and is a tale of trials, tribulations, and triumphs. From its humble beginnings in 1959 by a group of professionals who envisaged the power of people profession in the local and global context and who refused to be told what to do and what cannot be done. Today, those seeds have grown into a center of excellence for people management professionals. With a member base of 1,500, which is ever growing, including chartered fellows, chartered members, honorary members, associates and affiliates, CIPM takes pride of place among other professional bodies in the country as one of the elite institutes representing the people profession.
CIPM has a proud history of 63 years. We have produced many world-class HR practitioners and professionals. They are currently employed in Sri Lanka as well as overseas. As the nation's HR leader, we have initiated many study courses, programs, and student engagement projects where our HR fraternity can excel in their career. Our partnership with CIPD UK and CMA UK has added value to our HR practitioners on their greater journey to the C-suite level positions. We have produced an ambitious strategic plan for next 3 years to take CIPM to greater heights. We have been resilient for last 63 years and we'll grow from strength to strength.
The business school arm remains the most prominent among all facilities of CIPM, with a student population of around 10,000 annually. A panel of industry and academic experts who serve on the lecturing panels and affiliations with many international universities and professional bodies. CIPM has earned a name as the epitome in the studies on people management in Sri Lanka. CIPM, with its research arm and the consultancy, seminars and workshops, is also geared with state-of-the-art modern facilities for members to conduct applied researches and publications, as well as to provide related services to the industry. CIPM's ethos remains to facilitate the local fraternity while ensuring that the importance and multifaceted aspect of people profession is made available to all connected with people management. In this endeavor, many events dot the CIPM annual calendar, which includes the National HR Conference, the Great HR Quiz, the Great HR Debate, the Great HR Symposium, the Great HR Practices, the Great HR Walk, and the star-studded CIPM Graduation Ceremony, and more. There are many reasons why people enroll at CIPM. Here are just a few. By becoming a CIPM qualified professional, you will get full recognition of your skills in the world of work. What's more, you can increase your earning potential by as much as 75%. You will enhance your CV, giving you that much needed job security and increase your job prospects. There are many courses that are conducted by the CIPM Business School for you to choose from. CIPM regional centers are strategically placed at important economic hubs of the country, such as Kandy, Galle, Kurunegala, Gamba and Negombo. And more will be established at such strategic locations in time to come to bring the profession to all four corners of the country. CIPM has always prided itself with its membership, governed by an executive council consisting of industry experts, seasoned professionals and academics which have carried a legacy in the profession through the decades. CIPM has over the years cultivated strong relationships in order to ensure that the industry best practices are adopted at all levels. Its long-standing affiliation with Asia Pacific Foundation of Human Resources Management, World Federation of People Management Associations, and Organization of Professional Associations of Sri Lanka are proof of this. CIPM has enhanced the vistas of the people profession in Sri Lanka and has gone beyond the geographic boundaries in conquering the region and embarked upon the elaborate journey true to its vision with a chartered status, and also by hosting the World HR Congress 2020 in Colombo, Sri Lanka, which is a historic landmark for CIPM and will pave us the way to go global. CIPM Sri Lanka.
140 years in, and we continue to fill the world with color. Our innovation has sparked opportunities and brightened lives. It all starts with groundbreaking research at our world-leading facilities and the synergy of our diverse Nippon Paint Asia family. We're proud of how we have worked hand in hand to emerge as Asia's #1 paint and coatings manufacturer. Through it all, we have fulfilled our brand promise to innovate with heart and celebrate our people, the beating heart of everything we do. So we empower them with the skills they need to truly soar. And we envision a future where people and the planet can thrive together. We dream big and in bold Technicolor. So we go beyond producing coatings to light up as many lives as we can. Our coatings have transformed motor vehicles all over the region, and they keep industrial powerhouses running smoothly and efficiently, and provide environmentally responsible protection for maritime vessels. Durable and weather resistant, they help architects and developers bring their visions to life. We innovate ahead of the game with products that protect us in today's new normal and lay the foundations for a safer future. We also give our consumers more than paint, offering them design services that truly turn a house into a home. We are Nippon Paint. We harness the brilliance of innovation because we
are inspired by you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was one of our strategic partners, Nippon Paint. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're delighted and privileged that joining us here this evening at our inauguration ceremony as our keynote speaker today, we have with us Mr. Rolf Blaser, Group Managing Director, CEO at A. Bauer & Company Private Limited. It's my pleasure now to officially introduce our keynote speaker to you. Rolf Blaser is an experienced leader in a variety of industries such as healthcare, retail, FMCG, and consumer electronics. His accumulated work experience in Switzerland, Germany, France, Benelux, and since 2008 in Asia makes him an expert in cultural diversity. Rooted in sales, marketing, and retail, he has become a successful leader with a proven track record. After his successful setup of the retail operation in the Bangalore International Airport, which became the best performing travel retailer in India per passenger spent ratio, Rolf moved to Delhi in 2012, where he was given the opportunity as Managing Director, Safilo India Private Limited, to accelerate the business of luxury brands in the eyewear industry, such as Gucci, Dior, Fendi, Jimmy Choo, Hugo Boss, Marc Jacobs, amongst many others. Rolf proposed and was mandated to triple the sales with a 2-year Tiger plan. Given this extraordinary track record for 10 years in India, many international companies were attracted by his skills and experience. He found his destiny with A. Bauer and Company Private Limited as Group Managing Director CEO in a 125-year-old Swiss company established in 1897 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Bowers, as they are better known, employs over 800 people in the various segments of the company. Agriculture, healthcare, and consumer goods form the core divisions next to industrial raw materials, machinery, airlines, and education. Rolf Blaser went through the traditional Swiss apprenticeship education system, but he never stopped learning. He added an economist SEBA from the Zurich University of Applied Sciences, Switzerland, and an executive MBA from the University of St. Gallen, Switzerland, degree to his educational qualifications. Recently, he concluded the High Performance Boards program from IMD Lausanne that brings together world-class thought leadership and global best practices in a systematic way to help boards reach their full potential. Rolf is also entrusted with board membership of the Sri Lanka Institute of Directors, where he also chairs the CEO Forum. He further serves on the advisory board of the Luxury Connect Business School India and the International Advisory Board of the Genesis Foundation India. He's an active member in the Rotary Club and has been appointed as board member and chair of vocational services for 2023-2024. In March 2023, Rolf became the president of the Swiss Circle Sri Lanka, the only Swiss government accredited Swiss club in Southern Asia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this impressive profile, it's now my deep honor to welcome our keynote speaker to address the gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, can we hear a resounding round of applause for Mr. Rolf Blaser?
Thank you so much. I think it's highly overstated, but it sounded very good. Thanks for the big entry. Distinguished audience, I'm deeply honored and proud to have been invited by CEIPM to address as keynote speaker of today's event. The first dire straits I had when I received the invitation is to compose a keynote to an audience which has probably spent much more time, energy, and education on the subject matter than I have. So how do I address an audience that most probably knows much more than I do on human resources or personal management in Sri Lanka? So today what I do is I take you through my experience on that journey. So the first thing I do is old-fashioned, open the internet and Google. And in those days we Google for artificial intelligence. So I found a list of AI tools that should help me for today's speech. And I choose the top of this list, ChatGPT. I don't know whether you have heard about ChatGPT. So I Google ChatGPT. And this is what happens. I open it and ask the question, how to navigate dire straits. That's the topic of the conference. And ChatGPT takes 30 seconds to reply to me and says the following. I'm not going to read this out. I give you 10 seconds to read it yourself. So now, and it doesn't stop, it goes on and on and on. So now I learn more about Dire Straits. I thought it was a big music band, but I didn't know that there is actually True Dire Straits, which is a sea route in the Atlantic Ocean. Obviously, the second time I asked the question much smarter than the first time. And I did get a perfect result out of ChatGPT in 5 minutes. But I'm not going to present to you that result. Today, I'm going to present to you my personal view, out of my experience, professional and academia, on the topic of the subject matter. So what I'm going to present to you is not the perfect ChatGPT solution. And what I'm going to present to you is my own work. So I was already introduced what all I've done and where I've been and the achievements. So the 3 things you should take away right now of me is that I'm an educated economist. I've spent 5 years in Bangalore. I've spent 5 years in Delhi, and now 5 years or 6 years in Sri Lanka. So this is in a nutshell my background. So you know when I'm talking, it's coming from that angle. This boat, what we have to navigate today through the Dire Straits, has already been in dire straits before the turbulences started. And you must be more aware than I am about all these challenges we had before and after these turbulent times of the last, whatever you look at, 4 or 5 years, or maybe the last year, including COVID and everything. So we always had a skill gap. So what I do now is I Google again, old-fashioned education system in Sri Lanka. And what I realize, or what I figure out, is these kind of charts. No need to read them, but you will see at the top is the president. You see ministries, you see bodies, you see government organizations, you see education systems, but I'm not finding what I'm looking for. I want to learn about the education system in Sri Lanka to check whether I think there might be a skill gap root cause there or not. And this is what I'm finding. Then I switch from Google to Facebook. And Facebook, there I find one chart looking like this, telling me that the education system, including your primary schooling and then your O-level, A-level, and so on, I was impressed to learn that, as per this slide, you have, now I can't read on the screen, you have 333,000 students, and out of them maybe 10 to 15% make it to the desired outcome to become a university bachelor. And on that way of education through O-level, A-level, and so on, you have a lot of failures and dropouts and no admission to university, which looks to me very, very depressive. All these people are losers, failures, and dropouts. So I continue my search, going back away from Facebook, back on the internet, and I found another chart which shows me exactly the same thing. The source might be a little bit more reliable than the one of Facebook. Again, talking about how many people enter the system. In this chart, it's 450,000. That's from the year 2013 and 14, 450,000. Half of these people do not complete formal education. This was to me shocking from many angles, but especially as an economist. We are educating 50% of people and they do not pass the exam they're supposed to. So we're spending money on people and they don't get the benefits out of it. So I put a big question mark behind this system on myself. Maybe I don't have enough insights. The next question I ask myself is, okay, we have a lot of dropouts and failures. The next question I ask, do we have the right subjects or streams to study once we reach the level of university? And this is what I found, the streams. So I'm looking at this chart and then I'm asking myself, the streams are given, but what do people actually study, what they're signing up for? And I think you all know better than me that majority of Sri Lankans is studying arts. Now, arts is definitely an interesting subject, gives you a lot of creativity, but my question would be, does this lead to increase the economy? And today, the Sri Lankan economy is driven by, as per my knowledge again, by tourism, by garment and textiles, by exports of tea, by producing rice to become self-sufficient, by other agriculture activities. So my question would be, do the people study the right subject matter to contribute to the economy? I took a moment and compared the system with the system where I'm from, the Swiss system. Actually, the steps are not, or the levels are not that different, but the system as such is operated differently. Here on the left side you see the vocational route, and on the right side you see the academic route going to the university. The big difference is here 2-3 things. One is almost up to the top level you can switch from the left side to the right side, which means if you decide to take the vocational route you can always go back in the academic world and you can get the same or similar certificate as when you study from the very beginning for university. That's one major difference. Another major difference is we hardly have dropouts. In this scheme, maybe people who do not pass their exams, I'm guessing now, maybe 5%, not more. The big difference is the critical elimination happens at the entry point, not at the exit point. So to get admitted to university or vocational training, you need to pass entry criteria. And that's the critical level which makes people less dropping out or less stopping, because we are not smarter than anyone in the world, but the system is set up differently. Also, you can always switch from the left side to the right side, coming from vocational, going back into academia, which makes it a very, very fluid system. Then I quickly looked again in the Swiss system about how many people actually study or how many people we need to study. So we have this vocational training is basically skilled work, skilled labor. We have in Switzerland about 270 different professions which you can go into a vocational education. So we have educated electricians, we have educated carpenters, painters and so on, and they all go through a 3, 4, 5 years course, combination of practical experience and vocational training or classroom training. So up till recently, we had majority would actually go through vocational training and only minority would actually study at university. And this is the split between our requirement, what we had. We needed hands on the ground, hands who know how to build a house, hands to know how to build a road, hands to know how to grow rice or tea, how to build stuff. Another challenge what I feel to see in Sri Lanka in the HR spectrum is the labor law. Again, no need to explain you long about the labor law, but I could not resist from sharing with you this very busy slide. That's an excerpt of the Labor Department homepage of Sri Lanka. And the Labor Department homepage reads, on the landing page, I have to tell you, on the landing page, Department of Labor was started under the Indian Immigration Labor Ordinance in 1923 with the objective of providing welfare to migrant Indian estate laborers. So that's how the law started. And then it goes on and says, the legislature has taken steps to pass about 50 basic legislation during the past 94-year period towards the welfare and protection of labor force. And then it continues, for this purpose, these functions are implemented under 13 principal divisions of the department, and in addition to that, 11 zonal labor offices, 40 district labor offices, 17 sub-labor offices, and 10 district factory inspecting engineers offices. Wow, are functioning. It's immense, it's immense. So it seems that labor law is constructed on a very complicated base. It seems fragmented, it seems maybe outdated. So it seems not favoring the industry. And what happens, as per my little experience in the last 6 years in Sri Lanka, is we switch from formal sector to informal sector, or formal employment to informal employment. We switch to part-time work. We switch to decreasing the basic salary and increasing the variable salary. So this all, and we try to avoid welfare for the people, for the employees. So this all leads to the disadvantage of the laborer. Actually, the system is working against the idea of the system itself. So I studied further on the internet. Sri Lankan's workforce employment is 8.8 million people. Now, out of these 8.8 million people, 66% are employed in the informal sector, 14% in the public sector, and 20% in the private, or what I would now term formal sector. We could say public sector is also formal. So 66% are not protected by the Labor Act, are not enforced by the regulations. Safe and healthy is not really mandatory to them. Social security might be reduced. Welfare might be reduced. Improve of productivity and incomes might be reduced. Now this says 8.8 million workforce in Sri Lanka. The astonishing part is we have another 8.4 million people who don't work, who would be in the age and should be ready to work. So the workforce, the labor force participation rate in Sri Lanka is plus or minus 50%. That means half the people don't really work. Now, over time, we can see, in my interpretation, not much difference, even before COVID or during COVID or after financial crisis, not much difference. The number is plus minus 50% of labor force participation. Interestingly, we know the female participate less than the male. So I had a look at the age split as well, and here what I can see, I come back to the topic in a later slide, that the female study more and longer than the male. So I guess as an economist, I'm confused. We are training the people who end up not working. Again, from an economist point of view, not from a social point of view, highly questionable whether I would put my money down to educate people who don't join the labor force. So here we see actually the female participation has a dip in the age where they're going through university or A-level. Then on the labor homepage, I found, interestingly, a very updated list of labor and trade unions. This list seems to be dated from end of last year. Now, what caught my, this is a PDF file. What caught my attention is this part of the PDF file. There is 170, I can't read, 173 pages on that PDF file. There's 2,000 labor or trade unions, active labor or trade unions in Sri Lanka, 2,000. Now, my observation is these labor and trade unions are having, I would say, a political flavor in them. They're not really focusing on harmony. They're not focusing on the betterment of the industry. They are not uniting, and they're not helping the industry to move forward. They are not fighting to adapt to the modern workforce requirements. I'm talking about work from home. I'm talking about part-time work. I'm talking about sharing jobs and so on. Is not really pushed by the unions. Then the question is our youth, or our, generally speaking, our workforce, satisfied or dissatisfied? And we're having a lot of exit interviews at these days. In these days, people leaving the country. And one reason for sure is the salary. But we so often hear that the grass is greener on the other side. So these people many of them are not satisfied from a technology point of view, from a work environment point of view, from a labor point of view, from a policy point of view, and so on. If we don't address these issues, we will continue to have challenges to keep the people in Sri Lanka, especially the young people, and especially the mobile people, and especially the educated people who have easy runs to find a job outside of Sri Lanka. Then we match this all with the recent turbulences we had in Sri Lanka. I'm not going obviously into details with you. I've been here since 2017. Some people tell me because I'm here this all happened. I'm not sure about that. We had the Candy riots in April. We had the constitutional crisis in November 2018. We had the Easter Sunday on 2019, COVID 2020, then 2022, 2023. We all know that's still very up at the top of our minds. Dollar crisis, Ari Ghale, president left the country. Tourists didn't come anymore. No fuel, no food. So people ran away. And as per my statistics, we had 300,000 Sri Lankans leaving the country in 1 year. So this is what we call the brain drain, I guess. And this is the navigation we have to go through. Coming back to ChatGPT, the solution was given. I was asking later on not how to drive, but what's the solution for the challenges. I'm not going through this with you. You can have these charts if you're interested, or you open ChatGPT yourself. You see the conclusion is, I'm sure you're all aware of those challenges. The big point I want to talk, they even do an overall strategy, and at the end they draw a conclusion. ChatGPT, I'm a big fan of it, you can see this. My question or request to you today would be to try to avoid this situation. And we all have a tendency to say, oh, this is not me, the problem is somewhere else. The problem is the government, the problem is the education system, the problem is the universities, the problem is the research and development, the problem is not me, I can't do anything. I would like to ask you to stop that, to take that position. I would like to ask you and me to take over responsibility in the areas where you can influence on these challenges. And therefore, I would already send a big thank you to CIPM. I think they're doing a fantastic job in organizing this very event. I think that's a good platform today and tomorrow to exchange views, to exchange experiences, how to address all these challenges, and to bring back to our own workplace some small initiatives which improve the situation we are in. So we are all responsible. So thanks for CIPM to organizing this event. I also came across a study from CIPM which is leading into the same area of taking on responsibility. This is a study on the labor issue in youth in paddy farming. So the challenge in paddy farming, or I would say generally farming, is that the farmers are overaged. Majority of farmers are more than 50 years. So I'm a little bit worried to see what happens in 10 or 15 years when these guys are getting out of the workforce. I'm a little bit worried to learn from this study that only 8.5% of people in the age of 15 to 35 are actually, 8.5% are in the age group of 15 to 35. So I hope we can continue to produce food. But CIPM, again, thanks to do a lot in this space to improve the situation in HR, in personal management. I would like you now to raise your hands if you swear the pledge together with me to contribute, to work on this problem, to be active in the space. I don't see any hands. Yes, you have to raise the hands. That we all do whatever we can in our own space to increase the situation for the workforce in Sri Lanka. It's only for our own betterment. If you're really interested in those slides of ChatGPT, you can reach me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to share. You can scan the code if you want. You will lead to my LinkedIn page. I will be happy to share the presentation and the findings I have from ChatGPT, but better you do it yourself. Thanks for having me. I'm excited for the next one day tomorrow, and I would be looking forward to get a summary of tomorrow's day from the committee of CIPM. Thanks and enjoy the evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to our keynote speaker, Mr. Rolf Blaser, for sharing with us from your expertise and experience and giving us such a thought-provoking perspective on navigating dire straits. Well, with that, we would now like to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to offer a token of appreciation to our keynote speaker as we thank him for gracing our occasion here this evening. I'd now like to invite Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, President, CIPM Sri Lanka, and Mr. Priyantha Ranasinghe, Vice President, CIPM Sri Lanka, to please join us now, along with, of course, our keynote speaker, Mr. Rolf Blaser, who is Group Managing Director, CEO, A. Bauer and Company Private Limited. Please do join us right here in front as we now officially present a token of appreciation on behalf of CIPM Sri Lanka to our distinguished keynote speaker here this evening. We have the token of appreciation being brought forward, and of course, we take this opportunity to really express our deep gratitude and appreciation to our keynote speaker for his presence, his perspective, and for his thought-provoking insights. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as we say a big thank you to Mr. Rolf Blaser, our keynote speaker at the inauguration. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I think he deserves a huge round of applause. Thank you very much to Mr. Rolf Blaser, and thank you also to Mr. Ken Vijayakumar and Mr. Priyantha Ranasinghe for doing the honors. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's now view a brief video from one of our strategic partners, PickMe. Take a look.
The largest fleet of vehicles for all of your business operations, featuring tuk-tuks, flex cars, mini cars, sedans, minivans, vans and trucks, enabling hundreds of businesses to do more. Join PickMe Corporate today. Call 076 010 6093. Save up to 30% on your corporate travel. PickMe Corporate provides the largest fleet of vehicles for all of your business operations, featuring tuk-tuks, flex cars, mini cars, sedans, minivans, vans and trucks, enabling hundreds of businesses to do more. Join PickMe Corporate today. Call 076 010 6093.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was one of our strategic partners Pick Me. And with that, we'd also like to say thank you to our other sponsors and partners who've joined hands with us to make sure that this year's HR conference is an unforgettable experience for all of our participants. So our sponsors and our partners include the following: our strategic partners are Nippon Paint Lanka Private Limited, Pick Me Digital Mobility Solutions Lanka Private Limited, Senate Business Solutions. Our official partners include official hospitality partner Monarch Imperial. We have Emerging Media, Express Jobs, Vijaya Newspapers, which is our media and digital partner, and we have TV1. We also have our co-sponsors, including Malibin Biscuit Manufactories. We have SLT Mobitel, iContext Private Limited, Hatton National Bank PLC, Dole Lanka Private Limited, Commercial Bank of Ceylon PLC, Colombo Stock Exchange, Hemas Hospitals, Colombo International Container Terminals Limited, Coca-Cola Beverages Sri Lanka, Apico Supermarkets, and Veerasinghe Manpower. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're now about to add some more color and glamour into our proceedings here this evening, because we have our wonderful dancers about to join us on stage to enthrall you with yet another captivating performance. So without further ado, let me now hand over the stage to the Sanjana Sashi Dance Foundation. Take a look.
Calm down, yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown, oh lockdown. Yo, you sweet life, phantom, phantom. If I tell you say I love you, you know they for me, young girl, oh young girl. No, tell me no, 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 oh, 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 oh. Baby, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh. You got me like whoa, 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 whoa. Shawty, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh. I see this fine girl from my party, she wear yellow. Every other girl they do too much, but this girl mellow. Now in my divine situation, I go use they tell I'm mellow. Finally, I find way to talk to the girl, but she ain't no one follow. When you gonna phone for one? When you know I go for one? Then I start to feel a bum bum one. But she dey give me small small one. I know, say she baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown, oh lockdown. Yo, you sweet life, phantom, phantom. If I tell you say I love you, you know they for me, young girl, oh young girl. No, tell me no, 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 oh, 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 oh.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, hilo nolose, uhambe nami, sumangishilana. Jerusalem, ikayalami, hilo nolose, uhambe nami, sumangishilana. Dawo yami alikholana, buso wami awukholana, hilo nolose.
Look, see, no way, listen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a glittering performance by our fabulous dancers for this evening. With that, we are now delighted to use this opportunity to appreciate our strategic partners as we express our gratitude to them for their generous contribution and their invaluable support. So to now do the honors of officially presenting tokens of appreciation to our strategic partners, I'd like to invite Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, President, CIPM Sri Lanka. We'd also like to invite Mr. Priyankara Senviratne, Chairman of the National HR Conference 2023 and the Honorary Secretary of CIPM Sri Lanka, accompanied by Mr. UAC Obesekara, the CEO of CIPM Sri Lanka. I'd like to invite the following officials to please join us now as we formally begin with the appreciation of our strategic partners. Our strategic partners, ladies and gentlemen, once again include Nippon Paint Private Limited. We also have PickMe and we have Senate Business Solutions Private Limited. We are now about to appreciate each one of them individually in recognition of their contribution. So we'd like to get started, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Nippon Paint Private Limited, I'd like to invite General Manager Mr. Nemantha Abesinghe. Let's put our hands together as he joins us up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our strategic partner, Nippon Paint Private Limited. Once again, Nippon Paint Private Limited is our strategic partner here, and we have Mr. Nemantha Abesinghe, General Manager of Nippon Paint Lanka, joining us to accept this token of appreciation on behalf of CIPM Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please hear your applause as we thank our strategic partner, Nippon Paint Private Limited. We thank you for your invaluable support. We'd also like to recognize PickMe, and we'd now like to invite Mr. Nusrat Nazar, who is Head of Corporate Solutions and Business Development at PickMe, to please join us up as we now recognize and thank PickMe as our strategic partner. Here we have Mr. Nusrat Nazar. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as we say a big thank you to PickMe. Mr. Nusrat Nazar representing PickMe. He's the Head of Corporate Solutions and Business Development. We thank you for joining us on board as our strategic partner. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, PickMe for you. And finally, we'd also like to say a big thank you to Senate Business Solutions. We have Mr. Sampath Jayasundara. We'd like to invite him up. He is the Director, CEO of Senate Business Solutions Private Limited. And Senate Business Solutions is our official technology partner for the conference as well. So a big thank you to them for their contribution. Let's put our hands together for Senate Business Solutions Private Limited, our strategic partner and official technology partner for our conference. That is Mr. Sampath Jayasundara on stage, Director, CEO at Senate Business Solutions. We thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for all of our strategic partners now, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, let's now view this brief video from one of our strategic partners, Senate Business Solutions.
Behind every thriving business are hardworking people. And behind every hardworking person is a dedicated human resources team. Our promise is to honor those HR legends. We are not a done and dusted solutions provider. We are there to support you throughout your HR journey, the milestones and the obstacle. In the ever-changing and ever-challenging corporate journey, we understand that HR is your engine, and we promise to fuel a smooth ride as your trusted oil. We understand that requirements change, work patterns change, and trends change, but we are there to support you throughout this change. In today's demanding world, HR doesn't take the backseat. It takes its rightful seat in the boardroom. It is not enough to just automate HR from top to bottom. HR needs an ecosystem to cater to the different needs and requirements. We are the HR companion for your people, an all-in-one HR ecosystem. We are People's HR.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're now coming to a very exciting highlight of our inauguration ceremony here this evening, one that I'm sure many of you in the audience are awaiting. Now, as most of you here are already aware, we had a very successful pre-conference session here this afternoon, which is the Great HR Debate. I know many of you were present for that very exciting and enthralling debate that we just witnessed. It was a fascinating encounter of two splendid teams, and each of our debaters engaged in an extremely thought-provoking discussion and a captivating battle of ideas and perspectives. I'm sure we're all awaiting the announcement of the winner, but before that, let's officially kickstart this segment of the Great HR Debate Award announcement. Those were highlights of the very enthralling competition we had witnessed this afternoon. We had two very worthy teams battling it out for the title of winner. And as the anticipation builds for the result, ladies and gentlemen, before we announce who the winners are, we would like to begin by recognizing the panel of judges who have evaluated each debating competition and selected the two teams for the final here today. So I'd now like to invite the following members of the judging panel to join us on stage as a group, as we would now like to acknowledge their contributions. Before I invite the panel of judges, may I also invite Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, President CIPM Sri Lanka, accompanied by Mr. Priyankara Senviratna, Chairman of the National HR Conference and Honorary Secretary of CIPM Sri Lanka, to now join us here in presenting tokens of appreciation to our judging panel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our judging panel consisted of the following, and as I read out their names, I invite them to please join us up as one single group. We had with us today Professor Arosha Adhikaram, Chief Judge of the Great HR Debate 2023. She's also a panel member of the CIPM Lifetime Gold Award, Professor in HRM at the University of Colombo. We invite you to please join us up, ma'am. We also have Mr. Lalin Katagorage, who is Chartered MCIPM, Deputy Head Judge of the Great HR Debate 2023, HR Consultant, Senior Resource Person, CIPM Sri Lanka. Please join us up. We have Ms. Madhubhashini Bakme Denia, who is a member of our judging panel at the Great HR Debate. She's also Assistant General Manager Legal at Sri Lanka Insurance PLC. Mr. Sajiva Suravira, member of our judging panel and also Group General Manager, McLaren's Group of Companies. Dr. Rajata Silva, member of the judging panel and Senior Lecturer in HRM, Faculty of Finance, University of Colombo. We had Air Commodore Manoj Kepetipola, who is a member of our judging panel and also Air Commodore at the Air Force Headquarters, Sri Lanka Air Force. Imtiaz Anif, member of our judging panel and Chief People Officer at Union Assurance PLC. These are our wonderful judges, ladies and gentlemen, and we thank them all for their expertise and contribution in playing a very pivotal role in our debate and diligently evaluating the arguments and counter-arguments put forward, and of course for the very, very important task of selecting the deserving winner here this evening. So we now take this opportunity to offer each of our panel of judges with tokens of appreciation. And as they are presented with their tokens, ladies and gentlemen, we also have a very important member of the debate to thank as well. I'd now like to also invite on stage the moderator of the debate, Mr. Ronald George, General Manager HR, Central Finance Company PLC. I think he deserves a huge round of applause. Let's put our hands together for him. we'd like to invite our moderator to join us up. I'm sure you all agree he was very skillful in guiding the discussion forward and ensuring that both sides had a go at a fair and an engaging debate. So our moderator, Mr. Ronald George, we'd like to invite him as well to join us up and collect the token of appreciation. And as the moderator joins us, we'd also like to say a big thank you to our timekeeper. Our timekeeper was Mr. Indulak Sudarshana. He's a member of the staff here at CIPM. So we invite Indulak to join us up. He was very dedicated in keeping the proceedings on track. So we say a big thank you to our timekeeper as well. So I do believe right now on stage we have all of our panel of judges. I'm yet to see our moderator. Is our moderator around? All right, we have our timekeeper here, Mr. Indulak Sudarshana, a member of the staff. We'd like to invite you to join us. Let's put our hands together for the timekeeper. I don't see Mr. Ronald George around. Okay, perhaps we will thank him at another instance. So on that note, once again, ladies and gentlemen, here are your panel of judges. Can we please put our hands together one more time for them as we say a big thank you. Well, with that being said, we're going to keep you all in suspense for just a little while longer, ladies and gentlemen. Before I announce the results, let's take a look at a few brief sponsor videos.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Connections without delays or interruptions, quite unlike those days. The pinnacle of picture quality, an ultra-fast superpower. It's nothing quite like those days. Sri Lanka's first, fastest and widest premium fiber network. SLT Mobitel Fiber, the fiber of the nation.
Enwrapped in expression is a canvas of impressions, one that uplifts the spirit and lingers in the mind and the senses. A divine crust filled with flavor, more alluring than ever before. Introducing the all-new Maliban Real Temptation that hides irresistible sensations. So good. Maliban Real Temptation, truly irresistible.
Being a chartered management consultant is, for me, a recognition of my expertise, my experience, and my ability within the profession. So it's a real seal of the quality of the work that I do.
At the moment, we're part of quite a select group. It's still a differentiator in the marketplace. We need to make sure that we're transparent in what we're doing and that we're able to show the value that we're bringing and that we're clear about that.
You wouldn't get an accountant to do your accounts if they were not chartered. You wouldn't get an architect to build your house if they were not chartered. As we move forward, I strongly believe that the chartered status will become prevalent within the industry. It will become a de facto standard that clients expect when they engage with consultancies.
ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the announcement of the winner, I'd like to briefly tell you about the video you just saw on the CIM Level 7 Professional Consulting Program. Now, this is a prestigious qualification that is jointly managed and created through a partnership between two esteemed organizations, which is MCA, the Management Consultancies Association, and CMI, the Chartered Management Institute. The MCA represents the leading consulting firms in the UK, while CMI is the foremost professional chartered body for management and leadership. In Sri Lanka, CIPM is the affiliated body responsible for delivering this program. And the partnership ensures that the chartered status attained through the program remains relevant and valuable to both individuals and the consulting profession. This qualification is specifically designed for individuals who aspire to enhance their professional consultancy abilities. It equips them with the essential knowledge, skills, and behaviors necessary to drive consultancy activities in senior roles. Participants will develop the professionalism required to make a significant impact, uphold ethical standards, and demonstrate a strong commitment to continuous learning and development. This program is suited ideally for practicing or aspiring senior management consultants who seek to formalize their learning and progress towards achieving the prestigious Chartered Management Consultant designation. So for those of you in the audience who are interested, the next commencement of the CMI Level 7 Professional Consulting Program is scheduled for the 15th of July, 2023. So for those of you who are interested, for further details and enrollment, please don't hesitate to contact CIPM Sri Lanka. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to the very exciting moment, the awards presentation for the Great HR Debate. Before I tell you the winner, I'd like to invite the following to please join us forward. Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, President, CIPM Sri Lanka. Mr. Priyankara Senaviratna, Chairman, National HR Conference and Honorary Secretary, CIPM Sri Lanka. We'd also like to invite Air Commodore Manoj Kapetipola, Chairman of the Great HR Debate 2023, and Professor Arosha Adhikaram, Professor HRM, University of Colombo, the Chief Judge of the Great HR Debate 2023. I invite our officials to now please join us up on stage as we await the announcement of the result. Here with us in the audience. We'd like to invite him on stage as well. He's the chairman of the Great HR Debate 2023. Well, we would like to invite our keynote speaker to present the award. So we'd like to invite Mr. Rolf Blaser as well to please join in the presentation party as we are now ready to announce the name of the winner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before I tell you who has won the award, I'd like to invite the two worthy teams to please join us up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as we welcome Airtel and CTC, our finalists for the Great HR Debate. Here they are joining us up on stage. And many of you in the audience who were here during the debate will remember their excellent arguments and defense of their position as they spoke about the impact of skill migration to the Sri Lankan economy. So let's hope that we do have the best team winning right now. Our judges have made their choice. And right now here we have the two finalist teams, Airtel and CTC. Well, without further ado, it's time now to realize and reveal the winner of the Great HR Debate 2023. Congratulations! Here they are, CTC. After battling it out in the preliminary rounds, they are now about to receive their accolades and their glory as the winner of this year's Great HR Debate. I'd like to now invite our keynote speaker to present the awards to our winning team. We have Mr. Rolf Blaser to do the honors now, as we have the 4 members of the winning team to join us forward. Here we have the trophy to be presented to the winning team. So we invite our keynote speaker to present the trophy to the winner, CTC. Let's put our hands together for them. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for each of the team members. Congratulations, CTC, the winner of the Great HR Debate 2023. And we have a shield for them to carry back proudly to their organization in remembrance of this day. Here is the winner's shield. Let's invite all of the team members to now join in carrying that shield. Congratulations, Team CTC, on a job well done. And as we congratulate the winning team, we'll of course appreciate the fabulous effort and the passion put into their arguments by the runners-up team as well. We have trophies being brought up now to acknowledge the efforts of the team that was a finalist and is now judged as our runner-up. So here we have the trophies coming in for the runner-up team, which is Airtel. We invite the team members to please join us forward. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as we acknowledge their outstanding effort. So we have trophies to each of the team members of the Airtel team. We congratulate them on a job well done, on very convincing arguments, and for putting in their very best efforts. They made it all the way to the finals, and we appreciate their commendable effort and passion. Well, we do have another award to be presented. After we've recognized the winner and the runner-up, the judges have also made their choice on the best debater here today at the finals. Ladies and gentlemen, the title for best debater at the Great HR Debate 2023 goes to Ramdima Pathirana, the CTC captain. Congratulations! Here he is, the great debater, ladies and gentlemen, the best debater on the team today. Congratulations to the CTC captain, Ramdima Pathirana, for being adjudged as the best in the debate here this evening. So congratulations on that note to each of our teams, to CTC for being adjudged as our winner, and to Airtel for being adjudged as our runners-up. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank both the teams. Let's put our hands together for them one more time as we congratulate them on a job well done. Okay, well, with that, we have another opportunity to delight and regale you with an entertainment performance. So joining us up yet again, we have the fabulous performers from the Sanjana Sashi Dance Foundation. Let's take a look.
cutting-edge medical technology at a truly affordable rate. From Sri Lanka's most internationally accredited hospital chain, Hemas Hospitals. Hemas Hospitals, by your side.
There's never a dull moment on Sundays for families who spend time with the Sunday Times, Sri Lanka's favorite English family weekly, with unbiased news, expert financial reviews, top-flight career openings, and informative entertaining features for all ages. Reserve your Sundays for the Sunday Times.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the CQHRM for you, the Chartered Qualification in HR Management. As many of you are already aware, this is the highest qualification and recognition you can receive as an HR professional, and this is, of course, accredited by CIPD UK. With that, I'm told that our dancers will be joining us a little while later, so we will now move on to the rest of our proceedings, ladies and gentlemen. We are now ready to announce the most coveted award of the night, which is the CIPM Lifetime Gold Award 2023. Let's take a look at what we have in store. Lifetime Gold Medal. It stands as a pinnacle of achievement in the field of human resource management in Sri Lanka. This esteemed award serves to honor and recognize the visionary people managers who have made significant contributions to the advancement of the HRM profession in the country. The recipients of this prestigious award are individuals who have demonstrated exceptional dedication and have played instrumental roles in propelling HRM as a value-creating profession. Their contributions have spanned organizational, national, and even global levels, making a profound impact in strategic, operational, and advocacy capacities within the HRM discipline. At this moment, we would like to take the opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to the esteemed panel of judges who have generously volunteered their time and expertise in support of CIPM Sri Lanka, and their commitment and dedication have been instrumental in ensuring the success of our initiatives. So we'd now like to acknowledge their invaluable service. I'd like to invite our distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Rolf Blaser, to please join us, along with Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, President of CIPM Sri Lanka, and Mr. Priyankara Senviratne, Chairman of National HR Conference and the Honorary Secretary of CIPM Sri Lanka, to please join us on stage right now, as we will now begin presenting the tokens of appreciation to our esteemed panel of judges. Our panel of judges will also be reflected on the screen, and I'd now like to read out their names one by one and ask them to please join us on stage all together as we acknowledge them as a group. Our panel of judges have, of course, included Mr. Ken Vijayakumar himself. He is the chairman of the panel of judges and, of course, as you know, the president of CIPM, Deputy General Manager, Human Resources Administration, Purchasing and Sustainability at A. Bauer and Company. We'd now like to invite the rest of the judging panel to join Mr. Ken Vijayakumar. Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, member of our judging panel, Senior Professor in Management, past President, CIPM Sri Lanka. He's attached to the Postgraduate Institute of Management. Professor Arosha Adhikaram, a member of our judging panel, Professor in HRM, University of Colombo. We have Dr. Trevor Mendes, member of the judging panel, Senior Management Consultant and member of the Board of Study at the Postgraduate Institute of Management. Dr. Ravi Fernando, member of our judging panel, also Chairman and CEO of the Global Strategic Corporate Sustainability Private Limited. We have Mr. C. Heva Pattini, member of our judging panel and chartered fellow member, CIPM. And we have Mr. Aruna Jayasekara, member of the judging panel, group head of human resources at CIC Holdings PLC. We now have the tokens of appreciation being brought forward as we invite our keynote speaker, our president, and our honorary secretary to do the honors in presenting these to our panel of judges as we extend our deepest appreciation and sincere thanks to them for their selfless service in helping to pick out our winner and for all of their time and effort behind the scenes. So once again, these are our panel of judges on stage. Let's put our hands together as we recognize their efforts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put our hands together for Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri. Mr. C. Heva Pattini. And I do believe we have covered all of the judges on stage. Yes, indeed, we have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let's put our hands together one more time as we say a big thank you to our panel of judges. Thank you very much, and we invite you to take your seats in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we're all awaiting to find out who has won the CIPM Lifetime Gold Award. Well, it's with great honor and privilege that I would now like to invite the immediate past recipient of the esteemed CIPM Lifetime Gold Medal to the lectern to introduce and read out the citation of this year's deserving winner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as we welcome on stage Dr. Neil Bogahalanda.
The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to make some difference, that you have lived and lived well. Great poet and essayist Ralph Waldo Emerson's quote emphasizes the significance of leaving a lasting legacy and making a positive impact on the world. Qualities which are often associated with this year's recipient of the CIPM Lifetime Gold Award 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply honored and privileged to introduce this year's recipient of Life-Changing Achievement, which is the highest accolade offered in Sri Lanka for the significant contribution to people management. This year's recipient is a highly accomplished professional with over 36 years of experience, predominantly in the manufacturing sector, having started his career as an engineer at a national television broadcasting network. The recipient graduated in electronics and telecommunication engineering from the University of Moratuwa, holds a postgraduate qualification from the Open University, a master's degree specialized in human resource management from the Open University of Sri Lanka, a certified HR auditor, and a lead HR consultant. He's also a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. His magnificent service to the CIPM for nearly 2 decades is noteworthy. He served as a council member from year 2007 to 2021 and was duly elected and served as the president from 2018 to 2020. During his tenure as the president, he implemented significant changes and innovative initiatives to enhance the value for the students of CIPM, members, stakeholders, and the HR fraternity at large. The digitalization of CIPM and the introduction of digital delivery for its business school study courses, seminars, and workshops were monumental achievements during his presidency. Replacing all previous standalone study programs, rollout of the new CQHRM study program and the qualification is a landmark achievement during his tenure as the president. This qualification is now considered the epitome of professional qualification in people management in the region. He also was fortunate to be the president of CIPM at the time of CIPM being conferred with the charter status after a series of concerted efforts by the CIPM Institute. Upon an illustrious career, presently this year's gold medalist holds the position of Director Local Chief Officer in a Japanese multinational company operating in EPZ Katnayaka. In addition to his professional career, he has been actively involved in various industry bodies and councils, such as being the chairman of FTZ Manufacturers Association, member of the National Labour Advisory Council, and National Wages Board for Apparel Trade. He has been a worthy recipient of many local and international accolades. Global HR Excellence, HR Leadership Award at the Asia Pacific HRD Congress 2010 being the prominent most. In 2019, he was elected to the board of Asia Pacific Federation of Human Resource Management and played a key role in winning the hosting rights of the World Congress in 2021 for CIPM in Sri Lanka. He is also currently the president of AFRAM and board member of the World Federation of People Management Association since 2020. In his capacity as in the AFRAM and the World Federation, where he was instrumental in conducting a global people management survey in collaboration with the Boston Consultancy Group in 2021. Apart from his professional career, he is also involved in many society-serving entities, such as Lions Club International, where he is a cabinet treasurer and cabinet secretary of District 306B, president of the Lions Club Katunayaka Siduwa. Furthermore, he chaired the Management Club Negombo chapter and played a significant role in chairing the Toastmasters Club Negombo. In his personal life, he enjoys reading and traveling to explore new cultures and perspectives, whilst being passionate in serving the society. Ladies and gentlemen, the CIPM Lifetime Gold Award 2023 winner is Mr. Varnakula Surya Peter Rohan Dhammika Fernando.
Let's take a closer look at the remarkable journey of our esteemed recipient, whose contributions in human resources management have garnered global recognition. Dhammika Fernando studied at Maristella College, Negombo. He engaged in extracurricular activities at school such as scouting and martial arts. After completing his school education, he entered the University of Moratuwa, where he excelled not only in studies in electronic and telecommunications engineering, but also in sports such as rowing, rugby, and wrestling, securing university colors.
When I transitioned from engineering to export manufacturing only, I realized the importance of learning people management professionally.
Driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge, our recipient enrolled in the National Diploma in Human Resource Management, or NDHRM program at CIPM in 1999. Continuing his academic journey, Dhammika completed a 2-year research master's in HRM at the Open University of Sri Lanka. He joined a BOI company, Tropical Findings Limited, and advanced along his career, becoming a director.
I am honored to recognize the exceptional organizational contributions of our esteemed colleague, Mr. Dhammika. The impact has been profound. He established a robust HR management structure, securing tax extensions that saved significant revenue and resulting in substantial cost reductions. His leadership was instrumental. He implemented cutting-edge system, reduces paper usage, and transformed management systems. His strategic initiatives propelled our business to new heights.
Joining the CIPM Council in 2007, he diligently worked his way up, eventually assuming the role of president in 2018. During his tenure as president of CIPM, our recipient spearheaded the Institute's transformative journey, elevating CIPM to its current chartered status. His visionary leadership propelled the digital transformation of CIPM, introducing a cutting-edge digital learning management system, an ERP-enabled business school, and island-wide connectivity, ensuring uninterrupted progress even during the challenging times of the pandemic.
We quickly rolled out the Chartered Qualification in Human Resource Management, that is CQHRM, which paved way for us to achieve the accreditation of CIPD UK.
With his wide range of experience in the field of human resources management, our recipient contributed toward labor reforms in Sri Lanka.
During his tenure as the president of CIPM and as the chairman of Free Trade Zone Manufacturers Association, we had numerous interactions through various forums to promote harmony in the world of work and make it a better place. I wish him all the best as he is conferred with this prestigious award, which he truly deserves.
He actively engaged in the activities of the Free Trade Zone Manufacturers Association, becoming its chairman in 2023. Dhammika's exceptional leadership and vision contributed to a triumphant bid to host the HR World Congress, a remarkable achievement that culminated in his chairing of the World HR Congress in 2021 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity showcased Sri Lanka's prominence on the global stage.
During my tenure as president of WFPMA and chair of CIPD Enterprises, he strengthened links to CIPD and established connections to national associations across the globe. His insights and acumen are matched by his collaborative yet challenging approach to our work at WFPMA, and he has made a valuable contribution to the global profession.
His exceptional contributions earned him a seat on the prestigious board of the World Federation of People Management Associations, WFPMA, the official apex body representing 5 continental federations. It is a rare honor. He also became the president of the Asia Pacific Federation of Human Resources Management, APFHRM. Dhammika is a caring husband and a devoted father. We wish him success in all his future endeavors.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard all about the impressive accolades and achievements of our very worthy winner of this year's CIPM Lifetime Gold Medal. Before I invite the winner to join us up, I'd like to invite the presentation party to please come and join us on stage. We'd like to be joined by Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, President of CIPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Priyankara Senviratne, Chairman of the National HR Conference and Honorary Secretary, CIPM Sri Lanka, and to present the Lifetime Gold Medal, I'd like to invite the keynote speaker, Mr. Rolf Blaser, to join in as well. And as the presentation party joins us, it's time now, ladies and gentlemen, to present the CIPM Lifetime Gold Medal 2023. Put your hands together for Mr. Dhammika Fernando, Director, Tropical Finance Private Limited, past President of CIPM Sri Lanka, and now winner of the CIPM Lifetime Gold Medal 2023. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most coveted award this evening, and I think he deserves a resounding round of applause. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the esteemed winner of the CIPM Lifetime Gold Medal 2023. This is Dhammika Fernando, our past president at CIPM. Congratulations to you, sir, and we wish you all the best for a prosperous and continued career of great success as an HR professional. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your applause for Mr. Dhammika Fernando, CIPM Lifetime Gold Medal 2023. Congratulations to you, and thank you very much to our presentation party. Ladies and gentlemen, up next, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you all some interesting information about this year's National HR Conference. Now, the National HR Conference has the distinction of being South Asia's largest and most inclusive HR conference. And this year, we're proud to have with us representatives from various regional HR bodies, including the Bangladesh Society for Human Resources Management. We have representatives here. Maldives Association of HR Professionals joining us as well. Singapore Human Resource Institute, as well as the Hong Kong Institute of Human Resource Management. We extend a warm welcome to all of them. And I'm sure you all agree, ladies and gentlemen, that this impressive participation reflects the interest and the enthusiasm of the regional HR community in the activities organized by CIPM Sri Lanka. Well, I'd also like to tell all of you a little bit more about an associated activity of this year's conference, which is the National HR Exhibition 2023. You would have seen it as you walked into the hall. Now, this exhibition is dedicated exclusively to the HR community of Sri Lanka, and it has received an overwhelming response from leading local as well as regional HR service providers. They've come together in partnership with CIPM Sri Lanka to showcase their next level HR products and services. And this morning, the exhibition was inaugurated by our distinguished chief guest, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, who is the past president of CIPM Sri Lanka and a senior professor in management at the Postgraduate Institute of Management. And the inauguration event was attended by the president of CIPM Sri Lanka, along with the other office bearers and senior officials from participating companies. Now, I'm sure you all agree that our exhibition provides a very unique opportunity for all of our participants to explore the latest HR trends, the technologies, and the solutions that will shape the future of this profession. So we invite you, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you have a moment, to please go and witness all of the fascinating stalls. Some of the stalls are also offering exciting giveaways, so make sure you stop by each and every one of the exhibitors. So with that being said, let's now view this brief video on the inauguration of our HR exhibition. Take a look. That was the National HR Exhibition for you, ladies and gentlemen. And let me remind you once again to take the time to visit these fascinating stalls of our exhibitors and view and explore the latest trends in human resource management. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for yet another spot of entertainment. This time our dancers have prepared to dazzle you with a fantastic medley of popular Sri Lankan tracks which have all been sung by Lahiru Pereira. So without further ado, let's welcome our dancers back on stage.
Hey yo, you are now tuned in to the one, the only, Mr. La Senor.
Ayubowan. Kena kau meringga inna muada karo ninja. Tanjunggala kanggungala ulueng kita kata. Panca kerala ninda binda Shanghai dala ayya. Lajja hinda penda aragena miniha rada penna. Makarek innava apetaw me awasata kanna denna one. Lesit na nokaradda. Toli tamai ape lokka palaturu kada hatarak ekka. Hona miniha mage mentura. Kos ata unata kurumba වැස්සට නොතෙමි කුඩය ගනිල්ලා රස්නෙට වෙනි වැල් බිව්වම ඇඟට හොඳා කලහේ පඩාගේ බඩ පිරිලා වක්කඩ අස්සේ හකුරු හංගලා නැති වෙන හකුරට නාහෙන් අඩලා අසය පැන්නම කඩුල්ල වසනු එපා උෂ්ණත මුංගත සෞඛ්‍යද බොන්න කියපං උඹේ නොම්බරේ තන්දුරි කමුද නොදා බරබරේ වාකරේ කවුද ඉන්නේ ජරමරේ අම්පාරේ මල්ලි නිදිද කාමරේ ජම්බෝලේ වගේ ඉන්න සුන්දරා සම්බෝලේ කොටල ගමුද ලුණු දමා දංගොල්ලේ මාමා ඇවිත් මහකුණා ගස් පල්ලේ ඉඳන් බොමුද රාපෙරා Look at the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that power-packed performance, we're almost coming to the end of our proceedings. But before we wrap up formally, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take a moment now to recognize that the success of this inauguration would not be possible without several individuals and stakeholders joining hands with us to make this inauguration and conference a noteworthy gathering indeed. So to now officially offer each of our contributors a heartfelt gratitude in the official vote of thanks, it's my pleasure to now welcome to the lectern the chairman of the National HR Conference 2023. He's also honorary secretary of CIPM Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Priyankara Senamiratna.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The keynote speaker of the National Human Resource Conference 2023, Mr. Rolf Blaser, Managing Director, CEO, A. Bowers and Company, President CIPM, Mr. Ken Wijayakumar, Immediate Past President, Mr. Jayant Amarasinghe, Vice President, Mr. Priyantha Ranasinghe, members of the head table, my friends from Singapore, Maldives, BSHR and Bangladesh, my fellow council colleagues, members from media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks as the Honorary Secretary of CIPM and the Chairman of the Organizing Committee of the National Human Resource Conference under the tagline of Navigating Dire Straits. The Chartered Institute of Personnel Management Sri Lanka is conducting its flagship event, which is the National Human Resource Conference 2023, after a lapse of 3 years due to various negative factors which affected Sri Lanka politically, socially, and economically. The think tanks of Technical Committee of NHRC 2023, led by Mr. Chandra Hewapattini, came up with this topic which pertains to the current situation of the country as navigating dire straits. Thank you very much, my Guru and Mr. Chandra Hewapattini, for obtaining or giving us a topic like that. Also, the topic was built around political strife and also socio-economic problems in Sri Lanka, which has adversely affected the entire nation, and how human resource professionals could navigate through the major problems and issues which has taken the country by storm and plunged into the current stage what you and I are living in. I'm positive that the National Human Resource Conference 2023 will help the human resource professionals in Sri Lanka to mold the human resource strategies which are much needed to navigate the stormy waters of Sri Lanka, to set up new strategies to overcome the problems that we are currently facing. With that note, I would like to thank Mr. Rolf Blaser for accepting our invitation to grace this occasion despite his busy schedule. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Ken Wijayakumar, President of CIPM, and my fellow council colleagues for their utmost support to make this event a memorable and a successful conference. Special thanks goes to all our past presidents who are present at the NHRC. Thank you, gentlemen, for gracing this occasion. A special thank goes to our strategic sponsors, Nippon Paints, Zenith Business Solutions, PICME, TV1, Daily FT, Sunday Times, Daily Mirror. And our co-sponsors, Dole Lanka, Maliban, Hat National Bank, SLT Mobitel, Hemas Hospital, iContact, Commercial Bank, CICT, Express Jobs, Monarch Imperial, Veera Singha Manpower Company, and Colombo Stock Exchange. I'll be failing in my duty if I do not thank my subcommittee chairs, headed by National Human Resource Exhibition, Mr. Kasun Nahallage and Mrs. Primrose Mascarenhas, the Great HR Debate, Yakamado Manoj Kapitipola. Also, a special thank goes to the management and staff of Monarch Imperial for the great service that they're offering currently. Thank you. Our event coordinator and our host, Rishma. And last but not least, the dynamic staff of Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Sri Lanka, led by Chief Executive Officer Mr. U.S. Obesekara, Ms. Himali Dasanayaka, Ms. Injika Vijayasirivardana, Anushka Sin, Ms. Mamini, Mr. Vishan, Dilan, and rest of the staff of CIPM for taking that 12 months period to organize a magnificent event like this. Thank you. I would also like to conclude my vote of thanks with a quote from the great Winston Churchill. Attitude is that little thing that makes a big difference. So my friends, we have to have a positive attitude which will help to overcome all odds to make the country a better place for the future generations to come. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you very much to Mr. Priyankara Senviratne for those warm words of gratitude expressed to everybody involved in ensuring that our inauguration and the conference is a significant and special event. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we now come to the conclusion of our inauguration ceremony of the National HR Conference presented by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management Sri Lanka. It's been a fascinating and enthralling evening, and as we look forward to the technical sessions of the conference tomorrow, here is a kind reminder for all of you who've enrolled for these technical sessions to please ensure your timely presence tomorrow morning. We begin registration at 8 a.m. and we'd request you to be seated by 8:45 a.m. So do come early because you'll have plenty of opportunity to take a look at the fabulous stalls outside as well. Now, before we part ways for today, we invite all of our attendees to please join us for fellowship and cocktails. The cocktail dinner is served on either side of the banquet hall, providing all of you a very valuable opportunity to network and build connections within the HR fraternity. So please do join us for that. And we look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow morning, energized and ready to delve into day 2 of the National HR Conference. On that note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your presence and participation, and I wish you a delightful evening ahead. Thank you and have a nice day.